Welcome, everybody. The NFL Draft is this week. I'm Joe at the Game House. Today we'll be doing an updated mock draft for the Arizona Cardinals. So the Arizona Cardinals are on the clock for our updated mock draft. We did a mock draft for them earlier, but now that we know more about free agency and what they're going to need this week in the draft, we will do another one now. We're using the NFL Mock Draft Database Simulator. I like it because it meshes big boards from across the internet together for their big board, not just one site-specific big board. So we're going to roll with it, even though they do have some players who are falling that maybe aren't going to fall past pick 3, like Caleb Williams. We're going to stick realistic here, and they have Kyler Murray, and they're going to go Marvin Harrison. I'd be very shocked if they don't, if their board stacks up that way where Marvin Harrison is still there. Now, they're a team that could trade back. They do like to trade back historically, but they have so many picks. Like, they have 3 picks in the top 35 and 5 picks in the top 71. I mean, that's just too much to pass up. Marvin Harrison, get Kyler Murray a weapon there. And then we're going to go Nate Wiggins, the corner out of Clemson. He's a little bit smaller, but he's really, really fast. I thought he had one of the best seasons out of any corner in college football last year, and that includes, guys who aren't even eligible for the draft yet who might be going like top 10 pick next year. Next up, another edge rusher. I love the board right now. Chop Robinson, not a lot of production in college, but he tested very well. Can you get the most out of him? That's something they'll have to work with him on. That athleticism will show up. He's a guy that reminds me a little bit of Trayvon Walker a couple years ago. Good athlete, didn't have the production. Trayvon Walker ends up going number 1. I had a second-round grade on him. I have a second-round grade on Robinson. At 35, though, I think you can take him and feel pretty good about that, especially when I think you hit on your first 2 picks. All right, next one up. Again, the board stacks up really well for the Cardinals. We're going to go Chris Jenkins, the defensive lineman out of Michigan. He will help you stop the run. He may not do much as a pass rusher, but that is okay. And that sets you up again for just another good pick here. You can go in a lot of different directions with this pick. I'm going to go Jalen Wright out of Tennessee. I really like this player. I think he could provide a different type of running back for you than James Conner does. And you still have more picks in the top 100 here to get other position and fill in where they could help. All right, next one up. Let's go. I'm going to go Cole Bishop out of Utah. I think he's my 3rd safety on the board. A guy who can come down and help against the run. I think he's a decent athlete as well. To get him at 90 again, not a bad draw there. We'll take some developmental guys here. Let's see, we have 104, 138. So it's feasible that some of the tight ends that are here will fall if that's what they want me to take. We're going to go Kieran Amagaji out of Yale. Dominated the Ivy League competition. I have him as a top 100 player on my big board. You get him at 104, a developmental offensive lineman to protect Kyler Murray after you took Paris Johnson in the first round last year. That always helps. The tight ends are all gone, which is kind of surprising. Now, tight ends sometimes fall. We'll go Christian Mahogany out of Boston College. Yes, top player on the board. Offensive line depth is always good. We still have 3 more picks in this draft, so maybe we'll stick away from picking more offensive linemen. But there's still other positions we can go get some depth at. Unfortunately, we already took a running back, so that would be nice. Bo Limmer's a really good player. They might double up on corners. I could see that. I'm going to go Nehemiah Pritchett, a guy from Auburn who's been on draft radars for a couple of years. You can never have enough corners in this game. At pick number 162, you're not expecting him to start. Maybe play some special teams. I think that'd be a good pick there. Next one up. Let's do Jaheim Bell out of Florida State. A versatile tight end. He can kind of split wide. He can play a running back role. He did have a lot of rushes during his college career at South Carolina and Florida State. Again, taking a different type of position there, switching it up, getting depth at different places, having some battles across the board there. And with the last one, let's take Jordan McGee, a guy who thinks goes way quicker than this in the NFL draft, but we will take him. At the very least, we'll probably give you some good special teams play, but could even develop into a role here. A lot of people have him close to the top 100. So let's recap this draft for the Cardinals. I really do like this draft, probably more than any other team I've done on the updated mock draft so far. We are only 4 teams in, though. We have Marvin Harrison Jr. out of Ohio State. That should be the pick. If that is not the pick, I will pull my hair out. I don't know. Nate Wiggins, the corner out of Clemson. Arizona's needed corners for a couple of years now. He's very, very fast corner, kind of smaller, but I do think he can match up with some of the speedy targets that the Cardinals will be facing next year. Chop Robinson, the edge rusher out of Penn State. Not a lot of production, but very athletic. Chris Jenkins, a defensive lineman who help you stuff the run. Jalen Wright, a mismatch, or I guess a different change of pace than James Conner will give you. Jalen Wright runs hard and a big play threat. Cole Bishop, a very good safety out of Utah. Kieran Amagaji, an offensive lineman out of Yale. I think these guys could end up making their way into starting lineups even as early as this year if they play decently well in the preseason or even during the season. And then we get some depth guys. Christian Mahogany on the interior offensive line. Nehemiah Pritchard, the corner out of Auburn. Jaheim Bell, the tight end out of Florida State. More of a receiving threat, not as much of a blocker. And then Jordan McGee, the linebacker out of Temple. Special teams player for the start, and we'll see if he develops into more after that. So that is the Cardinals mock draft. Let me know what you think in the comments below. We'll be back with more mock drafts as we go along here. For now, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.